Assalamu alaikum students. In this lecture, we will discuss the non-linear analysis of a shunt DC motor. Magnetization curve of DC machine will play a vital role to understand this concept. As we know, the relationship between flux and magnetomotive force is non-linear. As you can see in this magnetization curve, there are three regions. The first one is unsaturated region, the second one is knee region, and the third one is saturation region. This is the magnetomotive force and this is the flux. In case of unsaturated region, the relationship between flux and magnetomotive force is linear. In case of knee point and saturation regions, the relationship between flux and magnetomotive force is nonlinear. As we know, the internal generated voltage is equal to K phi into omega. As you can see in this equation, the relationship between flux and internal generated voltage is directly proportional. As we have already discussed, in the relationship between flux and magnetomotive force is nonlinear because the real DC motor works in the knee point. In case of knee region, the relationship between flux and magnetomotive force is nonlinear. Nonlinear means when we increase the magnetomotive force, then the flux is not increased as same as magnetomotive force. In case of linear, when we increase the magnetomotive force, then the flux increases as same as magnetomotive force. That's why, as you can see in this equation, the relationship between flux and internal generated voltage is directly proportional. Due to this, EA is also a nonlinear function of magnetomotive force as well. The factors will affect the magnetomotive force will directly affect the internal generated voltage and flux as well. Now the question is how magnetomotive force is produced in DC motor. The principal contributor of magnetomotive force is, the first one is the field magnetomotive force. The field magnetomotive force is equal to NF into IF. As we have already discussed, there are two main parts of the DC motor. The first one is the static part of the DC motor and the second one is the rotating part of the DC motor. The static part, the winding across the static part of the DC motor is called the field winding. When the current will flow across the field winding, then the flux will produce. This is the first principal contributor of magnetomotive force. The formula of magnetomotive force is equal to NF into IF. NF means field winding number of turns. IF means field current. And the second one is the armature reaction. As we have already discussed, when we connect the load, then the current will flow across the armature winding. Due to this current, according to Ampere law, magnetic flux will produce. This flux will cancel out, will oppose the field winding flux or the main flux. Due to this, flux weakening problem exists, as we have already discussed in detail. Therefore, the net magnetomotive force will be equal to magnetomotive force due to field minus magnetomotive force due to armature reaction. Minus means the armature reaction magnetic motive force will oppose the main field magnetomotive force. That's why net magnetomotive force will be equal to NF into IF minus armature reaction magnetomotive force. Let the net magnetomotive force is equal to NF into IF static. Putting the value of net magnetomotive force in this equation, we get NF IF static is equal to NF into IF minus armature reaction magnetomotive force. Here NF and IF static both are multiplying. NF can divide to the right hand side of this equation. Therefore, IF static will be equal to IF minus armature reaction magnetomotive force divided by NF, that is field winding number of turns. Now the question is, what is the importance of IF static? Let me tell you. For example, in the previous problem, we found out the EA by using the KVL. That is, in the previous numerical, we found the EA by using or by applying the KVL. That was corresponding to particular current IF. In case of particular current IF, we can apply KVL to calculate the internal generated voltage. So if you see the current IF here, you will get some value of EA. As you can see in this magnetization curve, if the current IF lies here, then this will be the internal generated voltage EA. The important point here is that flux is going to reduce due to armature reaction. As we have already discussed, due to armature reaction, flux weakening problem exists. Flux weakening means flux will reduce in the DC motor. When the flux will reduce, as we know, the relationship between field current and flux is directly proportional. When the flux will reduce, then the field current will reduce as well. This is the reduced field current. As you can see in this magnetization curve, IF static is the reduced field current after the armature reaction. The importance of IF static is that because of the flux reduction, IF static will reduce. So this is the IF static nu. When the field current will reduce, then the internal generated voltage will reduce as well. This is the actual internal generated voltage after the armature reaction. This will be the actual values. This will be the actual value of IF and this will be the actual value of internal generated voltage. These are the no load values, as you can see in this magnetization curve. So this is the importance of magnetization curve. The other important thing is that magnetization curve is drawn at particular speed, that is at no load speed. Magnetization curve always drawn at the no load speed, that is omega naught or n naught. As we know, EA is equal to K phi into n A naught or omega naught. The relationship between flux and speed is inversely proportional. When due to armature reaction flux will reduce, then the speed will increase as well. As we know, EA is equal to K phi into omega. Omega will be equal to EA over K phi. When the armature reaction occurs, due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the speed will increase, as you can see in this equation. So the actual value of internal generated voltage after the armature reaction will be equal to EAL is equal to K dash phi NAL. Now, This is the value at IF static. As you can see in this curve, when the armature reaction, then the current will IF will reduce. Then the internal generated voltage will be like this. This is the actual internal generated voltage. So by using these two equations, that is EAL is equal to K dash phi into AL divided by EA naught is equal to K dash phi into A naught. K dash phi and K dash phi will be cancelled out. The remaining equation will be equal to NAL over NA naught is equal to EAL over EA naught. And here the value of R speed after the armature reaction NAL will be equal to internal generated voltage, that is the actual voltage after the armature reaction, divided by no load voltage multiplied by the no load speed. By using this equation, we can find the actual value of the actual speed of the DC shunt motor. By using this formula, we can find the actual speed of the DC shunt motor. In this particular problem, NA will increase because due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the speed will increase. When the speed will increase, it means this, in case of armature reaction, the speed will increase as compared to the no load speed. This is the important point of this equation. Now, we will solve a numerical to improve these things. The numerical is same as the numerical number 1. The only difference is without any compensating winding. In numerical number 1, we use the compensating winding. Now, in numerical 2, the problem is without any compensating winding. That is, we are not using compensating winding in the DC shunt motor. In numerical number 1, we were using the compensating winding in DC shunt motor. Now, we are not using the compensating winding in numerical number 2. That is, it does not has any compensating winding. So the question is, the rated power of DC shunt motor is equal to 50 horsepower. And the terminal voltage of the DC shunt motor is equal to 250 volt, and the no load speed of the DC shunt motor is equal to 1200 revolution per minute. This is the no load speed, that is no load speed is equal to N naught. This is the N naught, that is the no load speed. The important point here is that the DC shunt motor is without any compensating windings. That is, in this particular problem, we are not using compensating winding. When there will be no compensating winding, as we have already discussed in detail, then the flux weakening problem will exist due to armature reaction. When the flux weakening problem will exist, as we know, EA is equal to K phi into omega. Omega will be equal to EA over K phi. The relationship between flux and omega is inversely proportional. When the armature reaction will occur, due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When there will be no compensating winding, then the flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the speed of the DC shunt motor will increase, because the relationship between speed and the flux is inversely proportional. This is the important thing regarding without compensating winding. The other parameters are the armature internal resistance is equal to 0.06 ohm, and the total resistance of the field circuit is equal to R adjustable plus RF is equal to 50 ohm. The total number of turns across the field winding or across the static part is equal to NF is equal to 1200 turns. And due to armature reaction, the magnetomotive force is equal to 840 ampere turns. And the load current, that is the input current IL, is equal to 200 ampere. These are the given parameters of numerical number 2. The magnetization curve of this numerical is given here. This is the field current and this is the internal generated voltage. As we have already discussed, the relationship between field current and internal generated voltage, or the plot between the EF and or the plot between IF and EA, is called the magnetization curve. This curve is also given in the numerical number 2. When the IF, that is when the field current, is equal to 5 ampere, then the internal generated voltage is given here 250 volt. And when the field current is equal to 4.3 ampere, then the internal generated voltage is equal to 233 volt. Now we will solve the numerical number 2. The part A of numerical number 2 is to find the speed of this motor, that is to find the speed of the shunt DC motor when the input current is 200 ampere. That is, we want to find the actual speed of the DC shunt motor when the input current is equal to, that is IL is equal to 200 ampere. This is the part number A. Now, as we know, in case of shunt DC motor, IL is equal to IA plus IF. IA means armature current and IF means the field current. Here, IA will be equal to IL minus IF. Putting the value of IL and IF in this equation, we get here the value of IL is 200 ampere minus, as we know, in case of shunt DC motor, IF will be equal to VT over RF. That is VT over RF. RF means R adjustable plus RF. Putting the value of VT and RF in this equation, we get 200 minus the value of VT is equal to 250 volt and the value of RF is equal to 50 ohm. RF means RF plus R adjustable or R variable. By solving this equation, we get IA is equal to 195 ampere. This is the value of armature current. By applying the KVL, as we know, VT is equal to EA plus IA into RA. EA will be equal to EAL will be equal to 250 minus 195, as we have already calculated. IA is equal to 195 ampere and the value of RA is given in this problem. The value of RA is 0.06 ohm. By solving this equation, we get EAL is equal to 238.3 volt. This is the actual internal generated voltage. As the value of armature reaction, that is magnetomotive force due to armature reaction, is given in this particular problem is FAR, that is magnetomotive force due to armature reaction, is equal to 840 ampere turns. This value is given in the given parameters of this particular problem. Therefore, due to armature reaction, as we have already discussed, due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the current IF will reduced as well. Therefore, IF steric will be equal to IF minus magnetomotive force due to armature reaction divided by total number of turns. Putting the value of IF, magnetomotive force due to armature reaction, and NF in this equation, we get IF steric is equal to, as IF is equal to 5 ampere, as we have already calculated in the above, minus armature reaction. The value of armature reaction magnetomotive force is equal to 840, and the total number of turns are 1200. By solving this equation, we get IF steric is equal to 4.3 ampere. This is the field current after the armature reaction. Before the armature reaction, the field current was 5 ampere. Now, after the armature reaction, the field current is reduced now from 5 to 4.3 ampere. From the magnetization curve, as you can see in this figure, the value of IF steric is 4.3 ampere. Now, the internal generated voltage at 4.3 ampere from the magnetization curve is 233 volt. As we have already discussed, from the magnetization curve, the values are the no load. This curve is drawn from the no load speed. Now, the value of IF is 4.3 ampere after the armature reaction. Due to 4.3 ampere field current, now the internal generated voltage is equal to 233 volt. That is, EA stat naught now will be equal to 233 volt. We calculate this value from the magnetization curve because the field current is now 4.3 ampere. From the magnetization curve at 4.3 ampere, the internal generated voltage is equal to 233 volt. Now, as we know, N M over N naught is equal to EA over EA naught. EA naught means no load, N naught means no load speed. EA means with load, that is with IL is equal to 200 ampere, the internal generated voltage, and N means the actual speed after the armature reaction. Therefore, NM will be equal to EA over EA naught into N naught. Putting the value of EA naught and N naught in this equation, we get actual speed of the DC shunt motor is equal to, the value of the EA is 238.3 volt, as we have already calculated. The value of EA naught is 233 volt, and the no load speed is 1200 revolution per minute. By solving this equation, we get the actual speed of the DC shunt motor is equal to 1227 revolution per minute. Now, as you can see in this equation, the actual speed of the DC shunt motor is increased as compared to the no load speed. No load speed is 1200 revolution per minute. Now, the actual speed of the DC shunt motor is 1227 revolution per minute. The speed is increased as we have already discussed. When the armature reaction occurs, due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the speed of the DC shunt motor will increase. The part B is simple. The part B of this problem is, this motor is essentially identical to the one in the previous, that is to the one in the numerical number 1. except for the absence of compensating windings. In numerical number 1 we were using compensating winding. In numerical number 2 we are not using the compensating winding. How does its speed compare to that of the previous motor at load of 200 ampere? It means we want to do the comparison between the speed in case of without compensating winding and in case of with compensating winding. As we have already calculated in the numerical number 1, with compensating winding, the speed of the DC shunt motor is equal to 1144 revolution per minute, is equal to 1144 revolution per minute. In numerical number 1, as we have already calculated, when we were using the compensating winding, then the speed of the DC shunt motor was 1144 revolution per minute. Now, without compensating winding, in numerical number 2, without compensating winding, the speed of the DC shunt motor is now Nm is equal to 1227 revolution per minute. Notice that the speed of the machine with armature reaction is higher. Without armature compensating winding, the armature reaction will exist. Due to armature reaction, flux will reduce. When the flux will reduce, then the speed of the DC shunt motor will increase. Now, the speed is higher than the speed of the motor with no armature reaction. This relative increase in speed is due to the flux weakening in the machine with armature reaction. Part C is basically the plot between the speed and torque induced. Here in this particular problem, that is without compensating winding, as we have already calculated, the speed of the DC shunt motor will increase. Then the plot between speed and torque induced will be like this. In this case, in case of armature reaction without compensating winding, then the speed of the DC shunt motor will increase as increase in torque induced. That's it for this week lectures.